Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I'm Greg. I'm going to go over the cryptocurrency market and the dumps that been going on with Bitcoin. But I want to go over a couple pieces of data with you guys real quick, first time. And by the way, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, guys. I'm going to stay on top of this. I don't see anything alarming yet. Um, and of course, you have the bears back out, and it's all going back down to 15K once again. So I'm not concerned with it yet, guys. So DXY, checking this one out. Here's the point of interest right there at that 105.3. Is it going to spike up for another high? It could. I wouldn't be surprised to see 106 or 107 on the DXY, guys. But the important piece of data that we see right here is in the RSI, in my opinion. Okay. So if you take a look at this daily RSI, okay, you have a clear peak up there for a downtrend, and you have a lot of daily RSI being dragged up significantly, almost in the oversold area. And look how little the DXY went. Give you a pretty good signal that this is a corrective move. That's how I'm looking at that, guys. So somewhere in this area for the DXY, in my opinion, spike up maybe 106, 107, and then this leg right here, corrective phase of this leg to bring this, start swinging back down this way, which will send the markets up and be positive for Bitcoin. Another area, I'm not going to touch on it just briefly, guys, is the SPX, S&P 500, and the indices. It did have a bullish engulfing candle down there. Could it have bottom? It could, but don't be surprised if it comes back up and it might roll back over, guys. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market, and the market's right now, in my opinion, confused. But overall, for probably the rest of the summer, into the summer 2023, I'm expecting this more of a choppy area of the S&P 500 to go up this way, guys. Okay. So it's actually going to be a time in the crypto market to be more important and more selective on which cryptos you want to go into to make those gains. As an example, Kaspa coin, right? You're going to probably make some pretty decent gains. So just saying, like with Kaspa coin is so bullish, guys. You have Bitcoin going down like this and dumping. Once Bitcoin goes into a corrective move like this, a three-way move, you can see Kaspa coin go up significantly at that point, guys. So don't assume with a coin that's that bullish, Bitcoin's going down a downtrend. It might do a corrective move up. Kaspa coin can rip at that point, and a lot of investors or traders, if you will, would assume Bitcoin's going to go down. It's going to go down again. Kaspa coin can't go up. Well, Kaspa coin could be out of reach for them. So 0.004 is what it's at. Now it's at 1 cent as an example. And it's way up there for them. And they assumed it was going to go down when Kaspa went up like that, guys. So that's what I'm checking out with Kaspa. I think it's going to be a really, really good coin for 2023. And by the way, if you want to use my affiliate link down in the description to get some of it at some point, I would not recommend right now, not financial advice. You can get on Mex C Global over there. Now, here's the deal. I think this is a pretty important chart. It's the USDT dominance chart, guys. And basically, when you see this trend up, just like it's trending up right now, Bitcoin goes down. When it goes down, just like it did there, Bitcoin goes up. You can see this follow. This is looking at Bitcoin basically upside down. You can flip Bitcoin upside down, or you can come over to the USDT dominance chart. It's just the opposite of Bitcoin, either way. So here with the USDT dominance chart, guys, what I'm seeing with it, and I think it's important, you see in this daily RSI down here, you see an uptrend, okay, with no clear signal on this wave that came down, just a little bit of bullish divergence right in this area, okay? It's just the opposite of Bitcoin, guys. But at the same time, you go to some lower time frames on the USDT dominance chart and the RSI, you know, it's possibly setting itself up in this area to be building up a lot of hidden bearish divergence, especially if this gets a lot higher, guys, to drag this up down here into the RSI and to get an oversold. So what I'm saying is that just looking at this structure with the USDT dominance chart, I don't think it finished in this area or right here. So the assumption is Bitcoin finished right here. That was the peak. And now the USDT dominance chart is in a new trend. I don't think so. I could be wrong about that. I'm thinking this whole thing is probably going to be one structure possibly for it. and it's coming back down. And this structure here is probably going to somehow end up being some with this structure or something like that, or it's setting itself up to swing back up and have a massive dump down, guys. So that's what I'm be paying attention to. You see this get a lot higher in oversold territory, even in these areas. It gets up that high, it could significantly go up, 7.4%, drag Bitcoin down some more and get way up there. And you start seeing something like this on the USTT dominance chart, guys. I mean, look what happened over here. It came down a little bit right here, dump right there. More than likely, once the USTT dominance chart gets into those areas, guys, just like where it's headed to right now, you start seeing things like that. And that means Bitcoin's going to be shooting up significantly, in my opinion. So that's what I'm checking out with it. Now we're going to go over Bitcoin. Bitcoin, smack dab, hit that trend I'm checking out right here, guys. This trend with a touch, and it did it there. You could call this a 5-wave move. It might swing back around. There's a lot of questions. You go so many different ways with this. Is this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Is it a leading diagonal to swing back up to do an ABC to swing back over here? You have so many different options you can go with this right now, guys. Just have to pay attention to the wave structure, and it could swing back down over here and be in a correction for a period of time. Or, this, you could count this as it ended here, and this is a 3-wave swing back this way, and it's getting ready to go that way, guys. The signals right now are pointing towards Bitcoin finishing up in this area, in my opinion, and start doing a trend this way upwards and start heading towards 23K, in my opinion, is what I'm getting right now once it's finished in this area for Bitcoin. Otherwise, until you see Bitcoin start breaking these levels of 21.6, getting down to 20,900 and then 20,494, there's no reason to be concerned of this dump. Okay. Right now, to me, I'm looking at it more like a 3-wave move for the time being until it proves to me otherwise. You want to see this move over here. What kind of move is going to be going on once it's finished in this area? Okay. There's a lot of altcoins that look like they're probably coming to finish up a correction. You have to remember too, once they look like that they're finishing a correction, like Gala looks like it's really good. And I'm going down there getting a little bit of Gala at 3.036 cents. What it's wicking down to is that it could go into a prolonged correction where it'll correct that leg, and then it's in a prolonged correction as an example, guys. Okay. Ethereum actually looks a lot better than Bitcoin. It's the same thing. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or is this 1, 2, 3? It's in that area. It has a good bullish wick, in my opinion, but it could swing back down, come back down to those areas, complete that 5-wave move, and you want to see what is Ethereum going to do right in this area, guys, right in that area. Okay. So for Ethereum, this is the trend I would be checking out, just like something like that, just to see, is it going to stay along that trend, and what is it going to do? What kind of swing? We need to see the swing over here. So, but at the same time too, it could be an area where, could it rip out of there? Could that be the finish of it? It could. Just not going to know, guys. So position yourself accordingly. What I'm going to do too is I want to go over Gala with you guys. Okay. Just because I think based on the wave that I see here with Gala, this wave structure, an impulsive move, and Gala's in a correction, and it has a high probability that another one of these legs is going to be going on over here, whether it's A, B, C, or this is 1, 2. Just based on the RSI data in the daily chart, in my opinion, this is just my opinion now, I could be wrong, that this is ending up to be more of a 1, 2 sequence, and Gala is going to be going into a 3rd wave. Okay. Now remember, a C wave can hit 3rd wave targets too. So this C wave can be 1.618 the length of times of the A wave, and the first wave and the third wave is 1.618 times the length of the first wave. So you have a potential pretty significant move over here for Gala, and that's why when I seen it dumping down to these areas, 3.034, I think I was able to finally get 3.5, 3.6 or something like that, possibly into those areas. It's looking pretty good to me that this is coming to complete this. Now, could this go into some sort of complex correction, 3-wave move there, and then it's going to do another 3-wave move over here? It very well could, guys. It's going to depend on the cryptocurrency market. But other than that, this looks really good. If Gala finished its wave right there on the 13th of January, it's getting over here at the 3rd of March, almost 2 months later, to finish something up. But just be aware, it could extend the correction, guys, okay? And just looking at the lower time frames, I go down to an 8-hour chart. based on that wave pattern that it's doing right here, and checking it out in the RSI. Came down. Here's a wave with the most momentum right here, swinging back up. It looks like a ABC move, and swinging back down to this area to back up to here, and forming that bullish divergence. So I'm expecting some sort of move somewhere right in this area for Gala, guys, to do either a reversal or a corrective trend over here, guys. Okay, with Gala. So the probability is that way with Gala. Other coins I wanted to go over with you guys is VRA. Some people have some questions about VRA. VRA is doing just exactly what I expected it to do, right down into the box. Okay, you could see as low as 0.005, maybe even a wick down in those areas, guys. Just slowly slowing down in momentum. 8-hour chart looks like it might be taking that out. Check the 6-hour chart. A little slowing of momentum in that area. So VRA is a little bit different. It's a little bit more high risk because it finished up a wave right here in this area, guys, on the 23rd of February, and it's only 3rd of March. So this one might go into extended correction with VRA. Could be in there for a little while. Other coins I'm looking at, just keep an eye on, is gone over Kaspa. Guys, like, Kaspa's on the greener pastures. It has this massive wave here. This would be some type of third wave. As a matter of fact, let me go over the overall picture with Kaspa, guys, with you guys. So you have a highest peak right here, okay? And then you got your bearish divergence, and now you got a peak over there. So here's the deal with Kaspa, right? So since you got a highest peak right there, this wave sequence is a 1-2 now. So your 1-2 is over here, okay? So that's what you have to do. You have to make this the 1-2. This is the 1-2. And then it's going into, it looks like here's your 1-2, another 1-2 wave sequence. So see the RSI down there, how high it is in the daily. So this wave pattern is the third wave of this wave. Okay. So you have a lower sequence of a 1-2, and it's looked like it's into a 3. So I will change that, make it blue, and go to a lower sequence. And it should be doing something like this, guys. So now with this wave, the thing is this just probably going to start, once it finishes the main third wave, it's just going to start grinding up just like it did right here. So you're going to see, here's your third wave, and then you're going to see the 4-5s, 4-5, 4-5s pop up and probably be in there for a little bit. So basically with Kaspa, since it's so bullish, when Bitcoin is dumping, it'll be doing what it's doing right now. It'll dump a little bit and it'll go back up, and then Bitcoin's dumping again. It'll dump a little bit, maybe a little bit more, and then keep going and just keep grinding up, more than likely in those areas. It's going to be very difficult to get price targets with all these little waves back there like that, guys. So I'm not going to do it. It's going to be higher. It's going to be higher. 0.07 cents is what I'm looking at, and I think near 10 cents too, guys, is a potential target. So you'd be looking at a wave sequence, something, let's say 3's done there, maybe a 4 in this area, 3, 4 like this, and then a 5, something like that. I would just gather to make an estimate on it. Okay. So it's going to be up and to the right for a period of time. And that would be the third wave of that main wave potentially. So you got 1-2, this would be the third wave. Then you have a fourth wave, then you have fifth wave. So Kaspa is like probably going to be the little brother of, what is that? Optimism. But Optimism is probably going to be done before Kaspa. So everything looks good with that coin, guys. Really, really good, super bullish coin. And other ones, I'll go over Phantom with you guys. Phantom is looking really, really good on its correction. And it should be coming probably up to an area for some type of reversal. And probably that 1-to-1 area is what I'll be checking out, right in that area. So it's starting to come into that area to be looking for a reversal for Phantom right down this area. You can get as low as 36 cents, guys. Okay. It depends. So I would expect something over here, whether it's going to be a corrective move and go into a complex correction remains to be seen. But you can clearly get a move here and a 3-wave swing back. So far, so good with Phantom, guys. Is it up into a wave, a 3-wave swing back? Just be looking for the reaction in this area with Phantom, guys. So looks pretty good. The only thing I'd say about Phantom right at this point is The size and nature of this structure is really not matching up with that. So that would be a concern. There's some bearishness. It could be, you can get an ABC sequence out of this, like a 3, and then a 5 potentially. But I would be willing to say that Phantom at a minimum has one more move, a move probably of this size, I would say, if it's going to be a bearish sequence. A minimum, something like that. Let's just say, it's going to correct halfway down to 36 or 37 cents, or maybe in those areas. So I would expect there's 1-to-1. I probably expect up to maybe 80 cents, guys, 75, 80 cents for Phantom in that area. And then you could probably say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then have your bearish sequence, which is possible. That's still on the table for Bitcoin, guys, on a weekly chart. I'm bullish on Bitcoin, but the facts remain is that you can't rule out bearish sequence for Bitcoin. I'll go over that with you right now on the weekly chart with Bitcoin. Is that there's a 3-way swing here, so an ABC move to here. That would be called an expanded flat, and what an expanded flat move typically do is they hit 1.618 for cryptocurrencies. They're actually very, very swift and sharp. And just looking at this in here, what it's doing, Bitcoin's doing in here, it's not giving off that flat characteristics to me. It could, but you really should see a move up to 1.618. It does have lower end targets. You could say it ended right there on the expanded flat. That is possible. But typically cryptocurrencies, they're not weak like that. They're not weak. Just to show you an example, that move right here, you see that candle? That was an expanded flat for Bitcoin. I'll show you an example on the 12-hour chart. People would disagree with me on that, but that's an expanded flat right here, guys. You see this move right here? It went from 18,500 all the way up to 22,800. This is an expanded flat move. Nobody's going to convince me otherwise that that's not a flat. That is a flat, and you can see what it went up to. It busted 3.618. So just to give you an idea, flats are usually, they move quick. They make everybody think it's a new bull market instantly. In the smaller cap cryptos, people experience the flat move and they think it's the end of the correction and it's off and it's a flat move. So I would expect a much higher price targets on an ABC swing for Bitcoin. That's my take on it. If it's not that, this is the start of the new wave pattern. That's the only bearish argument you have with Bitcoin right now, guys, is a flat move. Okay. Otherwise, it's finished there and it's off. The monthly candles look pretty good too, guys, on Bitcoin. You take a look at the monthly candles, it could have been a little bit better, but for this monthly candle right here for January was a bullish engulfing candle. February was an indecision candle, which is not a surprise of what it completed, but it turned out to be green. Positive, but indecision candle. It's not a surprise of which everything's going on in the market. You go to the S&P 500. What is the chart telling you on the S&P? What is this chart telling you? That chart's telling me there's a bunch of indecision and nobody knows what to do. People want to short it because it's supposed to go down, but it's not going down, and it's still kind of just grinding up, 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 up. Combination of people realizing interest rates are still going on. A lot of people in the media talking about the bearish scenario. But ever since here, this was supposed to be the crash on the S&P 500. It went to here and it went back up. And now we're supposed to be in the crash again. And it possibly could be trending back up once again. And it's going to go up here and it's going to need to crash. The argument that I have for the S&P 500 that is just basic TA. If you take your trend line, you can see that it clearly broke the trend line. And right here on it, where's it at? Right in that area. So you take the trend line from here to here to here on the S&P 500. And I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, guys, I said, don't be surprised if the S&P 500 lands right there, right where it was, right there, guys. So, and you can see nice bullish engulfing candle right out of that area. Same thing with Bitcoin, guys. I'm going to a weekly chart. Bitcoin on this logarithmic downtrend, okay, from up here to here, back all the way back down to there, it has done a back test and it's over in this area. So to me, for Bitcoin, until proven on the downside, there's more bullishness behind this with Bitcoin, and you have a really good probability that that was a significant bottom right there. And throughout 2023, you could probably going to see much higher price targets for Bitcoin, guys. And I think the same thing for the S&P 500. I think you have signals for a peak in the DXY in this area. You know, don't surprise if it shoots up a little bit more. You know, I kind of explained this. You know, the DXY is in a corrective move, and assets, risk on assets, can go up when the DXY goes up. The reason why is because it's going up correctively. So this is a corrective move, even though it's bullish, but it's in a correction. So it's like this. As an example, I'm just showing you as an example, guys. Here's A, here's B, here's C. So it's going bullish, but it's in a B wave correction to swing back down. Okay. So markets can go up when these go up. So you go back and look at the history of the DXY. It's like, well, look at it here. It went up. Risk on assets went up. Where was the area? I think it was like right in this area or something like that. Some people were mentioning to it. It went up in this area because this was all a correction. A, B, C. And then that was the bullish move to complete that sequence. Okay. That's how I look at that. And then the other chart I think to pay attention to, guys, is going to be vital is the USTT dominance chart. And this is, I think, important too, because right here on the weekly for the trend is this. It broke a significant weekly trend or a sequence all the way up here, starting back in February, March, April of 21 and going in this weekly trend. And now it has broken it. Okay. And you might have a chance with it to come back up some more in this weekly to get near it, to do a back test, and then only to swing back down in the weekly, guys, right down here. Let me clear that up for you a little bit. Okay, come back up into this area. That's a pretty significant. If it goes from here to that trend, that's pretty significant. You know, that could be a significant dump in Bitcoin. But if it goes back up there, I would not be surprised to see the USTT dominance chart go back up there, and it's going back down a significant trend like that, guys. And that's when Bitcoin will blast up. Just a little bit of speculation on my part. No guarantees, but you just never know. And looking at it on the, let me go to a 12-hour chart and just looking at the RSI data when I'm checking out with the USDT dominance, and I'm going over this again, is the hidden bearish divergence that could be forming in a massive amount. And the price area right now I'm looking at is that 140-ish area over here, the 140-ish, 150% to get up into that area, get this bearish divergence. Potentially, Bitcoin will continue to trend down, be in a correction, up, and then a potential boom, 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 boom. Bitcoin will go up. If you made it all the way to the end, do me a huge favor, drop a like, hit the subscribe button. Peace.